Hey guys, this is Heather. I want to show you my tricks for making hummus that isn't farty, because we all know beans can cause some gas, and us vegans love to bring hummus to a party. I remember a friend said to me one time when I said I was bringing hummus, she messaged that emoji that has the wide eyes and the red cheeks that's like embarrassed and said, "Ooh, farty." So I wanted to explain a few tricks that I have for making hummus that doesn't give you quite so much gas. So first of all, there is a difference between store-bought hummus and homemade hummus. One of the major differences is how the beans are cooked. So when I cook beans at home, I do not use any salt until after they're cooked, because it can interfere with the cooking process of those chickpeas, and that's a big trigger of what causes gas in beans. So your best bet is to get some dried beans that you can cook yourself, or get some canned beans that are cooked without any salt. Eden Organic is a brand that does not use any salt when they cook their beans. They also add kombu to the cooking water, which boosts mineral content in the beans, and it also helps with the digestibility. Now, I'm cooking dried beans in my pressure cooker today, which is a great way to cook beans from dried without spending too much time or using too much electricity or gas to cook them. And what I do is I let them sit after cooking for about 30 minutes or an hour just in the hot water, and then they will soften even more than the actual cooking. Now, I don't soak my chickpeas before cooking them, but you can do that. It creates a shorter cooking time, and it also helps reduce the gas potential of your beans. Whether you cook your beans or use canned, you want to rinse them thoroughly, because the water that the beans cook in might have some gas potential in them. And you want them to be soft. So these, as I said, I cooked myself. And see how they just kind of mush? That's really what you want, and that's actually going to make a really nice creamy hummus. So I'm going to put some of these into my food processor right now. And then I'm going to add a nice big spoonful of tahini. And I'm going to do some fresh garlic. Now, if you really want to be sure that you're not going to be gassy, you may want to leave the garlic out, because it does have sulfur in it, and that can cause some gas. But I love garlic, so I'm living dangerously. And then what I usually do is add some vegetables, because not only does this boost the nutrition of your hummus, but it also reduces the density of your beans and make it less potential for gas. So I'm doing some zucchini, and I'm doing some fresh red pepper, and I'm also going to do some roasted red pepper. We always need some lemon juice. This also, or lime juice. This also helps brighten it up and make it not quite so heavy. And some spices. So cumin, of course, and I like a lot of cumin, but don't put that much in if you don't like. And I'm going to add a little bit of smoked paprika, because it's just so delicious. And we do need some salt to bring that all together. Now you can add some olive oil to this. It makes it nice and creamy, but I find it does add to the gas potential of hummus. So I use some water and maybe some more tahini if I want it to be a little creamier. And then all I do is just blend this. And then we can take a taste, see how the flavor and texture are doing. It's really good. It's got a really fluffy texture because the chickpeas are cooked to that nice soft texture. A little bit more salt. Always good to start slow on the salt, because you can always add more. You can't take it out. All right, one more taste. That is perfect. So now if we want to take this to a party, we can just put some in a pretty little bowl. And my final tip would be to serve this with chopped zucchini or cucumber or celery. You want to pair it with vegetables as much as possible, because that's really what's gonna help lighten and offset the beans. And I mean, the other thing is that if anybody eats an entire cup of hummus, they will probably get a little bit of gas because that's a lot of food. So keep the portions manageable, pair it with vegetables as much as possible, and start with chickpeas that are properly cooked. So those are my tips for making hummus that isn't quite so farty. Please leave me any comments or questions you have down below. Some super exciting news around here this week is that I have a brand new cookbook out. It's called The College Vegan. It's full of easy to make, affordable vegan meals, which are oriented to college students, but I know that that probably appeals to a lot of people, not just those in college learning to cook for themselves for the first time. So there's more info in the link down below this video. It's on pre-order right now. It will be out on Kindle very soon, and I'll be sharing more over the coming weeks about that book, but I just wanted to share because it's super duper exciting. All right, thanks so much for watching, guys. I hope you have a wonderful, healthy, gas-free day. We'll talk soon. Vegan, yeah.